Thank you. He said he's in Detroit, and he was originally going to try to zoom in, but he sent a message saying, I don't
Sorry, I keep forgetting.
No.
He always gets to go do fun
Have a
stuff.
good day.
Right? It's jealous. It's salty jealous. What's he doing in Detroit?
He's on his way to the Middle East.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What did he say?
that tracks, right?
He's,
Fun combination.
okay, so he's in Detroit on a layover heading to Montreal, and then from there, I think he's going to somewhere else.
Not Israel.
I don't think so.
I'm sorry, are we reporting already?
We are, but that's a fair statement. I don't think that's.
Oh, never mind. Middle East Studies Association. in
Oh.
Montreal.
Oh,
Okay.
well, that's
Okay.
way better. It's just
Yeah,
one Canada.
just Canada.
Just, I'm not, I take it
Just
back.
beautiful
But French
Montreal.
Canada,
Canada.
like mini Europe.
Don't feel bad.
Oh, like Quebec City.
Yeah.
I've never been there.
Yeah. We went there years ago, and it was fun to have like a mini Europe.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
North America.
I will say I just found a typo with minutes from October, so
Okay.
we'll approve them with that fix if that's when it comes time to talk about that. But
Well, I guess we can
we
call the
should be good
meeting to
then.
order and get started. We're 2 minutes late. Thanks everybody for coming. So Quinn asked me if I would kind of run through the agenda with all of you. And the first item is the debrief of the Xeriscape tour, which I think Darren will probably do with us.
Well, I don't have a lot to say. I think that I actually have, I didn't reach out to anybody because I'm not sure that any of the property owners would have even noticed much, but I had report, and I didn't, I guess who I should have reached out to was people who took it and asked them questions about how it went. I don't know why I haven't. I was sort of waiting for this meeting to kind of think about what way forward we wanted to take. But now that I say that out loud, I'm like, well, I could have emailed them and asked them how it went. I thought the turnout was great, and I thought that everything went pretty well. And I heard back from, who was it? You. Somebody emailed me. You emailed me. and
Yeah.
Somebody else emailed me. That they really enjoyed it. So, I was pleased with it, but give me feedback.
We rode our bikes to all the spots, and it was great. And most people were outside, and we got to visit with them in a minute. And it was really interesting. I like how you chose different properties that were pretty different from
Oh, that's
you know, like the very, very vegetated to a lot less vegetation. Like been doing it for 5 to 10 years and did it this year. Like I really liked the variety.
Yeah, there was nice
because
variety,
it's-
you know.
I feel like that's inspiration inducing.
Yeah.
So I really liked that. Everybody seemed to be really friendly and happy about it. So.
I was very pleased with the number of people who came to the orientation, and yeah, so I was going to see in this group what we wanted to do as a follow-up. Do we want to, should I ask the property owners if they're okay with us posting this information more publicly? Should I just ask them about their experience? It seems like there is an interest in it, and it seems like it might be okay to post this information publicly. It doesn't seem like that would be a big ask or a big threat to anybody.
I mean, they do like the tour of frights at Halloween where they collect homes and publicize kind of a way to get around. So
I was wondering even if we could, so we have that like neighborhood webpage, right? That I wonder if under like water wise resources or
Yeah.
something like that, you can have like a list that is posted
Right,
on the
right.
city webpage that we can occasionally update
Yeah.
with addresses and people who are okay with that.
Mm.
So if you want to be inspired, you could do a quick drive-by or whatever. See things.
I haven't seen the video that we sent in and posted to social media yet, but, it's fun to make.
Yeah,
Fun to
you
go
can
around
so-
and see it.
Sarah did a nice job making a video. I don't know if
Did you guys see it?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
fun.
So, check back in, because I know
Yeah,
the
well, now we
text
need
was
to
kind
write, the
of
text
a different
was,
text.
yeah, the text
This
was
one.
Halloween oriented,
Yeah.
so now we'll,
We can modify it.
yeah, we can modify it. I can come up with something a little bit different.
But I hope that they post it, because I think having that visual for those who didn't know, like, oh, this is a cool thing.
Yeah,
Get to know more about.
yeah. You didn't even get Pete didn't reply at all?
He didn't reply, so.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think it would be appropriate to approach these people and see if they would be willing to share their addresses for more public consumption, and we could post it on a website, so the place you're saying. And I think I would like to try to repeat that again, I guess, in the future, next year with a different sector more or something like that.
That would be great.
Okay. Well, I will contact them. So first I will do two things, or I will contact the people who came and signed up, and I will ask about their experience. I will ask, what would you want different, or what other kinds of,
Did we say we were going to follow up with resources?
Yeah, we
in
also,
email?
yeah, we could,
Okay.
I can also email them
Okay.
a couple of resources as well, the Central Utah Water District and I will inquire about what other resources they want. I mean, I think there was a discussion about maybe even putting together a list of contractors that people have used or something like that. So I can see if.
And nurseries.
Yeah,
or-
nurseries, right, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's another resource they want. They want like some plant ideas. So I can try putting a few things like that together. And I can also I can contact the participants and the property owners. And for the property owners, I will ask, how did it go? Would you mind if we shared your addresses publicly on a, lower profile webpage, and or even a social media post or something. And then, right, I can gather that information, make those contacts, and we can go. Does that sound okay? Great.
And I think it was a great time here.
Yeah, it seemed
Do
like,
it.
it was a nice, it wasn't
Because
too
I
cold,
think
yeah.
for the Xeriscape gardens, I think they're probably pretty good.
Yeah, I think a lot of them look pretty good, probably. So we could try doing it next year around the same time, I guess, if we wanted to try something again.
Yeah.
Because I think now we're thinking about that hike being in the spring, as I think kind of what we decided. So Quinn announced publicly at the thing that we were committed to a quarterly activity. And so a spring hike, a fall Xeriscape tour. I don't
We got a winter.
know what our winter
Covers two
activity is.
seasons.
Yeah, I don't know what our winter
Half week.
activity is.
Symposium.
Symposium.
Stargazing.
Stargate,
Yeah,
yeah.
the library workshop.
I would actually, they closed the trails up there for the winter. Otherwise, a hike in the winter is not a bad idea. It can be really lovely.
Yeah, if you're right.
But
Later.
they do close those trails in the
Yeah.
winter. So if we did a hike in the winter, it would be way on the Kive Peak side, which would be fine. But yeah, I'm not sure what Quinn had in mind for a winter activity.
That's our assignment.
Yeah, that's.
What are you
Yeah.
thinking?
What are
We
you
could do
thinking
like
about?
the Xeriscape planning workshop.
We could, yeah, it could be something like that.
Like show people how to spread paper and put up.
Get Central Utah.
Yeah.
It's a nice idea. Anyway, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what our summer one is, but maybe another bike ride. I
Yeah.
enjoyed our bike ride this past summer.
Like right in May or
So
something.
try that. Didn't we do it this year in June or so, or was it earlier?
Yeah, I think it was.
Because I don't remember it being too hot.
It was in May.
Was it in
because
May?
it's
Okay.
bike month.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, it was May bike month.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Alright, for our second item, we've got a debrief of the Utah Valley Growth and Prosperity Summit. Sarah.
Yeah, so there were, did you go to any of them? Okay,
No,
there were, yes. Are you still getting a coffee?
Twice.
Oh, yeah. No, I was like,
Yeah. No, but Orem Planning was well
that's
represented.
great. Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
Um,
Utah Lake Authority was there too.
So the couple comments, there was a lot of, again, party conversations about the heavy, housing, transportation, water, kinds of things. But the couple comments that I heard, and it's probably similar ones that you've heard like yourself, where they said, we know all this stuff, we've been having these conversations, but how do we actually make something happen? How do we do it? So as part of this year's theme, the theme was what can I do? And so there was kind of a call to action at the end about what you can do in your sphere, and then they're gonna have throughout the year, they're calling for people to submit, home videos or something like that of what you're working on, and then and they'll kind of curate those down throughout the year, but continue with some kind of accountability throughout the year instead of like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this and then not talk about it again. That's the hope anyway. And then present kind of reporting and have some video reporting on what people said about this. So there were two other people at this table that attended that may have a different perspective.
It's fantastic.
I really like
Yeah.
What did you have a favorite or main takeaway? Or notes for next year?
It was more of just, I was in the breakout session that was about affordable housing for our children and grandchildren, which I consider myself the children of that situation.
Right.
And that wasn't the most hopeful situation.
Every staff meeting is not full. What are you
Well,
talking about? So we talk about every meeting.
I was hoping that one might have, that someone might have some new ideas,
I thought it
but,
was just like, this sucks.
Like,
were you in that one?
we
Bill?
know intimately, not, yes, I was.
I
We
was
just
too.
intimately know the reality of
just
the
like-
situation like most people.
Yeah, I was just hoping someone maybe had something I haven't thought about, as someone who would like to own a house sometime in the next 25 years. Because being a renter forever sounds terrible. But I liked that at the end, it just kind of boiled down to like, look, we're gonna figure it out, but like, we've got to kick up our getting involved game and that came back again. So people have got to start being involved when they're in support of things.
Yeah, that came up.
Because it's something someone said was the complainers are the ones driving the policies, not the people.
They show up.
Yeah, so they're the ones who are the ones getting things done because they're the ones that are talking, and so they're the ones that policymakers are following because that's the voices that are happening. And so it's a lot of like, you need to be involved if you think something is good, or if you have thoughts about things, because otherwise it's only people who are ticked that are really sure. And it's a dangerous game to like just assume that because I like it, it'll be fine. It's like somebody doesn't like it and they will be happy. And they will speak their mind, and then the thing that you like will die. interesting.
Yeah, that is.
If I remember, Darren, your email report on the what's it called, front runner warm station meeting
Yeah,
did have a lot of people.
Yeah.
that-
yeah, that was so
There was a lot of
interesting.
YIMBY, not just NIMBY, right?
Yes.
It was a
Yes.
very defined.
Yeah.
The one you went, the most
Here?
recent one? At the Orem Senior Center? Yeah. Well, I guess so.
Yeah,
Maybe Darren did see
Hear your
some of
thoughts.
it.
maybe you got it a better. I got a
Oh.
lot of the disgruntled people as they left.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some disgruntled people, but the votes, the voting was all in favor of more high development housing.
Yep.
And
Wow.
so,
Love
right. And so, yeah,
The survey polls, when people were voting
I would say,
of their own will without anyone else knowing that they were going to be voted in a certain way, I was surprised by the direction it went. However, that doesn't always align with the comments that we were seeing.
Yeah, right.
Because of their questions. It was an interesting meeting.
So is there anything from this summit that this committee should be involved with in this next year then, like in terms of an actionable
I
item?
mean, we want to submit a video of what the city's natural resources stewardship committee is doing. I think that shows one way, and again, maybe that can demonstrate for some other cities that don't currently have city boards trying to promote setting up citizen committee like this in other cities. So there are a few cities in Utah County that have one. It's just one. So, you know, if we just share a fun video about some of the things that we like to do and engage our citizens. Maybe other cities would like to also engage their citizens in this.
And is it mostly land use and water use that this?
So there are
Or is
7
it-
pillars.
Okay.
There used to be 6, but they added 7. So there's business environment, education and workforce development, healthcare, natural resources, transportation and housing and air quality.
Like
So
a
it's
video of us doing a bike tour or something.
something like that. Yeah, we could do you know, clips of the various activities that we're doing or you know, us at a booth or whatever, or highlight reel. But yeah, that could be one way that we show that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was sad to miss it, too. I mean, I was.
Our third item is communications planning. So maybe
Maybe.
communications guru.
Well, let's see. Yeah, we should maybe think of some like holiday themed campaigns.
Yeah. Yeah, I can send photos there to clients, you know, like creative graphic.
Yeah, I like that idea.
You know. It's like no.
Yeah, using like reusable bags or whatever for presents.
Right. There's one that sleeves with the bow,
Yeah.
and then also like a men's necktie.
That's cute.
But anyway, so that's one.
Something Thanksgiving maybe.
just being thankful for some natural resource. Having another. Photo of something beautiful around here, like something else with some snow on it or something.
To see some resources for helping you to better judge your shopping and food count so that you reduce your food waste. There's like a, what's it called? It's like a servings, like a servings calculator or something like that. Well, 15 people or anyway, that's just another related. Oh, I do know there is the day after Thanksgiving is two things. Opt outside. And I think that originated with REI.
Yeah.
So opt outside on Friday, and also there's another buy nothing day.
Celebrate that one.
But I've always enjoyed the opt outside. A chilly day.
Cool. And for New Year's, you could do a New Year's resolution for getting outside or making less space. More active transportation. Anything else for communications? Sounds like we're having a little bit of issues with the city taking up our stuff for the Xeriscape.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, I
That's
don't know
something
why
we
Pete
need
does
to
not respond.
follow up on.
Yeah,
He sometimes is very responsive and sometimes not. I just
yeah,
presume
I don't
it's-
know how much.
I think
He's
it's just more,
juggling.
right, it's more random. So. but- I don't know, yeah. I'm not sure. I think we're okay.
All right, now the next couple of items are because we are coming to the end of the year, we need to start planning for next year. Budgeting for 2024. Matt can help us a little bit with that. I don't know.
I think it would be helpful this year is next month, you actually brainstorm the budget. It's realistic because you guys want to do more than what we have budget for. Awards, we have activities, it's gonna be pretty soon, yes, I have not got a receipt there.
I was just gonna say, you're talking about budget, I was just like, oh yeah, I need money back for my donuts.
Well, and the thing is, we're exceeding the budget, so I got, I just gotta not beg and feed somebody. So what I would
Bike
suggest,
Probably are.
bike valet is another one.
Yep.
I suggest, next month, just put together all the requests, in a spreadsheet, and, to administration, and then they can weigh all that as part of the budgeting process. They'll start that in January usually, or February at the latest, but.
When does it go to get approved? March.
So May, typically approved by mid-June. So,
That starts the fiscal year.
but yeah, it is, if you don't have that by February or I mean, not technically, but every other
Yeah.
department,
It's already planned.
Yeah. and I would, yeah, maybe prioritize all different requests. Yeah, just saying, because, if they come back and say, well, I don't know, just roll with it. It's not tons of money, but you know, at some point, you always gotta rob from some pot, to pay for some other pot.
Mhm.
Well, and if some things can be classified under. Like the ballet, bike ballet, could that be?
Some of that.
Yeah, possibly.
You know.
Forum Fest.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
Forum Fest.
You almost got sued there.
Milwaukee Gas, yeah.
I just want to save from a lawsuit, buddy.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, yeah, so that's something we're going to be talking about
Okay.
in December. And then the next one is, when do we want to have our annual retreat, where we can talk about the budget or assignments, what worked well this year. So what we did last year was we had a 2-hour long meeting in January instead of a 1 hour, instead of a separate retreat. Is that what we want to do again? It's just double the regular meeting time.
I recall it working fine. Maybe it's better than having a separate meeting, because it is hard to coordinate a separate meeting, so. I would be okay with that.
Are we counting at the end of the first week of January after New Year's, or?
No, we'll see what day that
Well,
is.
that's something else that we should talk about.
Because we need to
Last-
change the,
Yeah, we need to
Yeah.
shift our schedule around for
Last
24.
spring,
you teach a class.
I teach class on Thursdays. You were taking a class on Thursdays, if I remember
I'm done.
right. So I might be the only problem child now, in terms of Thursday scheduling. We had switched it to Tuesday,
The
third
third Tuesday,
Tuesdays.
which we could do again, that should still be open.
It's not the second.
Second and fourth, the city council, first is 10.
Does anyone have a conflict with third Tuesdays? Though?
Well, you know, I'm gonna-
You're gonna be in
You're gonna
Yeah.
be on.
So that, yeah,
Maybe
we
leave.
probably should like talk about if I'm gonna,
Yeah.
if we should get someone to replace me, or if I should join the.
What
Do you
time
want
is it?
to join
It'll be in the
remotely for
middle of
Mongo?
the.
No, it's like far enough ahead.
Like the morning.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
2 in the morning though.
No, it's like
No.
13,
No.
14.
Oh,
It's like by 7
So
or
it'd
8
be
o'clock, right?
So, yeah, it would be like,
7.
Not insane.
yeah, it wouldn't be insane if we met at 5 here time.
Current time in 7:30 a.m. So it starts at 7 a.m. That's fine.
Oh, I get up early.
Is that Mark?
No, I get up first because I don't need time. Everyone wakes up.
My youngest is at 5,
Oh,
but he's now learned to play by himself. So
bless him.
that's bless his. Here, would it be nice to have some time? Yeah, let us know.
I don't think it's a matter of like, don't want you on the
Right. We'll
committee
always
anymore,
want
we
you.
want you on the committee, but.
Do you want
When
to
you
do
stand
that?
there.
Yeah, you do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's my colleague Tara, you know, that we gave
Oh.
the award to.
Yeah.
She could be the interim. If she's. I'll
Let
think
us
about it.
know. Yeah,
I
let
will.
us know. But Darren and Sarah, Tuesdays versus Thursdays, January.
I don't think it's a difference.
Quinn also said it didn't make a difference to him.
I always,
It would be helpful for me to switch it to Tuesdays for that semester.
Do we want to just do it the whole year that way? Or just the semester? I don't think they honestly care as far as how they're doing.
Matt made a face.
No, it's fine.
Would you rather do
Do you prefer
Thursdays though?
I
Thursdays?
need to last for.
We can revisit it again. I don't think he was gonna stay like Thursday.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I just renegotiated custody with my kids for Tuesdays.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah,
That's
that's
important.
But again, it's expected. We're parents sometimes.
Well,
Just reevaluate after.
Tuesdays are fine. I'll just, in
Let's-
fact, actually Tuesdays are better.
What?
Are you sure?
I've just decided, I just had a process.
Okay.
I usually bring them here once a week anyways to hang out with me, so I'll just pick that one that day.
Your civic duty.
They like
They're
the
gonna,
library.
they're gonna be like junior, okay.
I almost
They
Not
do-
junior committee members.
They do their homework in my office and then I send them to the library.
That's so funny.
Yeah, they're
I was
listening to
this close to dropping my kids off at the library.
So, no, Tuesdays work.
Okay,
I just decided.
I'll just put a potential reevaluation come summer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do
Okay.
that.
In fact, actually, long-term Tuesdays is right.
Well, that was fast.
Yeah, I just had a process.
I agree,
That's
these things take processes.
But yeah, there's no final decisions.
I mean, I just have a big class I teach every winter semester, and I often have TA meeting and make meetings, and I can make it the other days. So, I'm also processing.
All right, so let's plan on
The
third
third
Tuesday of
Tuesday.
January
Which
As
is-
our retreat day, our
as
double.
our double meeting.
Actually, I really excited.
That will be.
It is important to make you,
Yeah.
to have you
No,
there.
it works a lot better for me. It really
That
does.
is January 16th.
Our 16th for 2 hours, starting at 5.
Okay. And February 20th, and so forth and so on.
Until we possibly reevaluate in summer.
Yeah, like in May or something. Semester.
But we don't have to move it around. Well, we can, because we're adults, we can do that.
Michaela's got the power.
I'm just bossing. Assert my dominance sometimes.
And then we have time for individual committee member reports, if there's anything else we want to talk about.
I do.
Okay.
And I'm sorry that I didn't get this on the agenda. Bike racks. Bike racks at parks. I am.
Or the lack thereof.
Just, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
right. We've talked about this once or twice. We've observed the need for it. We had some sympathy from, who was it, who went on our bike ride with us, who thought that this was a good one.
Ryan, yeah.
Yeah. So we have sympathy from high level people who said that he thought it was a good project. I think we just need to somehow submit a formal request for this. Is that?
I think
seem
add
right?
it to your budget, but not necessarily in our seat budget, just a general city budget
Oh, yeah.
request.
Keep it
You
on the
just
general
start-
radar.
You should just start $500 a year or something. I mean, or 1,000 or something. Just
Okay.
Yeah.
slow incremental implementation.
Okay.
Uh,
So propose it.
just the standing new ones are fairly affordable to purchase, install, and they're usually the best actually for the record. So, and then if you get a volunteer team, that can be something to actually install them, save on costs. A bike Provo has done a lot of this, and it's now it's affordable bike rack installation.
So I missed the first part of what you said. The best idea is so we do a proposal.
Just that with your budget planning.
As part of our
just
budget
say,
planning.
hey, let's pitch a certain number
Okay.
as a separate line item from your NRC budget, not make a program racks.
Right.
Right.
But we'll
Okay.
probably say, we suggest that development services has a line item for bike racks, and we propose that you partner with Bike Provo, who knows how to do it, or Bike Forum to learn how to do it. In fact, actually, and there might be some small administrative. I know Bike Provo is trying to raise money, so probably better to support Bike Forum, but then they have the experience. Maybe they could train Bike Forum to do it. Bike Forum to make that much sense, or something, just something to start building a budget up for them.
There's a steel parket bike rack, fits 9 bikes, $300.
Yeah,
So, would it be helpful to have an example or two, I guess, of a bike
I
rack?
would just really, I highly recommend just starting with
Okay.
one single U frame and locations, and then you can track utilization. And it's being shown as being
Is this
used.
what you mean by a U-frame, the way?
No, it's just
No,
a
it's
one
just-
single U.
Um,
Enough for 2 bikes on each side.
Got 'em out here at the
Well-
library.
There, and I would
Oh,
say
no, I
that
think the
'cause-
library is one of these.
Yeah, it is
I would
a.
say that because you're gonna be able to distribute a lot more racks in different locations.
Yeah.
Or if you put in one of those, it's
You
gonna
have
cost
one
more, and then maybe it won't get fully utilized, and so you just wasted, at least in the short term,
Yeah.
I see,
a lot of budget. So,
right,
yeah, those are more strategic in that, and if there is 100% utilization right away, well, you just throw on a second.
interesting.
So that's a lot more adaptable for experimentation.
Okay,
Stretches the area that you can distribute these.
okay. So I
So-
see them for $120 or something, so,
And then maybe say, well, we'd like to contract with an organization to do this for $30 an install or whatever. Volunteers can do it. Goes to the organization. But if you have $1,000, that would be, say, $1,500.
10 racks.
10 racks, and see how it goes for them.
And do we need to have like a list of specific locations within specific parks?
I think we probably ought to do a sort of inventory map, and assemble all that, so we'll service gaps. Right,
Bike Provo already did that, and didn't find a single one of them here.
At
Yeah,
the senior
we-
center.
at the senior
but not
center.
at,
Oh, it has to be
like, at the play together.
There's not any within the park, there's just at the city center building, the library. And the senior center.
So I think they've already done the inventory, so I think we
well,
should
that's
just,
not citywide, is it?
yeah, no, the Bike Orem looked at every park in the city
No.
and found 0 racks, except for.
So maybe ask them where,
Yeah,
like, ideal proposed locations, because they would know it.
yeah, we can
better
work with
if
them
they've
on
done the
this.
inventory.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, maybe there was one at Nielsen's Grove, I could be lying, but I thought it was 0. But yeah, we can talk to them about that.
So we'll have a new city council member
In
in
January.
January. When do they have their council retreat?
Their retreat.
I believe it's January, I don't know the dates.
So we might not get the new person until.
Tuesdays might work better for them too, because they always have city council stuff. on Tuesdays. Okay, thanks for that, Darren. Any other additional items?
The Utah Valley Earth Forum reached out, was putting together an evening at the library. If the focus is on saving the planet and saving money
Saving
and the
money.
planet. So,
Yeah.
where the overlap is on saving money. So they're having folks come in and talk about different things, so they invite me to talk about waste. So I'm doing that.
Doing it from like a food waste? same kind, or-
Well, I mean, I can take it a lot of different directions, but just all the R's.
Uh-huh.
Various. So my assignment is waste and recycling, so.
Right. Yes.
Do you know about this Utah water?
I think I signed up for it.
Good.
Yeah.
This
Is that-
was,
that's
I
on the
just learned
17th?
about this, it's like at UVU, like Utah
16th.
water
Okay.
policies. Yeah, I sent it to it's November 16th. That'd be
It
interesting.
will be interesting.
And that's the same day though as the Salt Lake watersheds and it's a different thing. Like,
Water's a hot topic.
yeah, which is good. Yeah. And this is hosted by the speaker of the Utah House of Representatives.
That is-
Who knows? I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
Can I give some Utah Lake updates?
Yes, please.
Probably folks saw that executive director Eric Ellis has moved to his, vineyard. So, yeah, that happened. I think last Monday. Yeah, last week, last Wednesday. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was last
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah. So right now we're working on the like position description and stuff. And the board's gonna be, I think, more involved than initially hoping. We need board members who are like, no, want to see the position description.
Is the
Can we
board
talk about
writing it up?
Yeah,
Posting it? That's-
So is it kind of like, is the organization kind of like the city council, where you've got the board is like the council and then the executive director is like the city manager?
Can you tell me authority?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that kind of a similar sort of way it works?
Voting policy, who's our first currently,
Yes.
very much the same.
But I mean, in that model, it really depends on how active the counselors are, right? And because it's possible for the board to completely default to the executive director.
Yeah, and I think up until now, there hasn't really been a lot of communication between the executive director and the board.
Right.
Hopefully that will change.
Yeah.
This is the new board.
That usually-
It's great. This stuff's there. That was previously commission.
Right, so it's replaced it.
Because I'm on it.
Yeah, I know.
So, and then there was the call for final comments on
On
the
the
management plan,
Right, yeah.
but that's now over,
Is
I
that
think.
close?
I think that is close, yeah, and the next board meeting's not until December, I think we don't have the November one. So, yeah, December, it seems like there's gonna be like, might be a bigger one, because I've heard rumblings of like people, like the comment period there might be a lot of activity.
This Lehigh City put a highway part, it's a master plan option.
Right.
About that.
Yeah, that's not Utah Lake.
But I'm sure that you have to.
Yeah.
Building.
It's like forestry fire, state lands. Yeah. So that's, the lake, I don't know, I hear like things around, but I'm like, I don't know, that hasn't come before the board. More plans to dredge, or like more ideas to dredge. I don't know, hasn't come before the board, so. But that's like, I think, gonna be moving forward. Hopeful things that there is a way to have more like inclusive. There's been a slew of Tribune articles. Yeah.
So maybe one other thing, are you done? I'm sorry.
Oh, Debbie's there.
Debbie's here.
We've got Debbie now.
Oh, wow.
I'm done, yes. Terry Peterson, is the Orem representative on it, and
Those are 3-year terms.
I think we're coming off of council.
oh, that's right. Yeah, so whoever is our city rep, I think, could be.
Right. So there's this whole issue as well. So I mentioned that I sent out an email on this. Maybe we don't want to act on it, but there's this whole question of Orem residents being unable to get grants to redo their property because the Xeriscape, the ordinances about how much crap, yeah. And I don't know, Matt, you kind of track this more. Because after that last meeting that we were talking about, the city councilwoman came up to me and says, well, couldn't our committee look at this and have a conversation with Central Utah about changing?
Hello, is the meeting over? This is Debbie.
Hey, Debbie.
Hi, we're here.
We're here, Debbie. Hello?
But it sounded like I was gathering that ship is down.
No, not necessarily. I mean, well, as far as negotiating the standards.
Yeah.
Depends on how much political leverage you want to pull and collateral damage. I don't know. Jason and I sat down with their staff. Now, no executive real power wielding staff members are at that meeting. But basically, the two lower level staff members like me that have no real power joined the meeting, and they explained their stance and we explained ours, and for a little bit of compromise, and they're just very much no. We want consistent. We don't want to have different standards out there. But game with you guys, if you're consistent with everybody else that's already adopted these standards, was the message they gave us. Now, have I gone to each of those cities and pulled their standards to really verify if they're really the same? No. So that's one thing that could be done. Let's say, hey, because that was asserted, I think, that some other city had a different standard. I just went off Central Utah Water's word that
Interesting.
it was the same. Somebody asserted maybe American Fork had a different standard. I don't know anything about it. So, yes, we could go back. That means I'm going to be trying to schedule the higher powers over there to come to the table. Probably try and get the exact same message from them, and then it's all right. We're going to bring the boards together and escalate that to Central Utah Water Board and Orem City Council. I mean, it's all an escalation war game, and I just don't really have personally any appetite for that unless on top of it. I mean, I think if council members want to take that on,
Yeah.
and go wage that war, but
You look down the decision tree and don't see outcomes that look plausible, they're favorable.
I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying that's.
Yeah.
Is there a
I'm
deadline?
really-
That's my
I think
question. Is there a
NRC
deadline?
and myself, and this is not to diminish you in your role, don't have any real leverage.
We understand that.
I know.
We're okay with that.
I don't have any real leverage, and so this is a matter of you got one or two council members that have a different idea, and I think the rest of the majority support them in that. There may be a minority that does not.
That was very opaque. I'm not sure what that meant, but it's fair
Yeah, that's intentional.
enough.
But
But when they know it is interested.
open-ended?
She's interested in not doing it.
She's interested in having Central Utah change their standards to be more amenable to the Orem standards.
What? Yeah, more or less. But we've been asked for it to encourage a standard that would allow homeowners to keep more grass.
Right.
In exchange for the program.
Right, yeah. It's essentially what it said, yeah.
And the thing that we brought was some of your original ideas was maybe the ratio of grass could be increased if we altered the type of grass, so drought tolerant type grass,
Right.
buffalo or something else.
Right.
That would fly.
Okay, well, thank you for floating.
Well, we
Thank you
did.
for reporting.
Now
Thank
I
you.
try to be responsive, but.
You're awesome. Okay.
So, I think, a couple months, things might be a
Change.
different landscape.
Right.
3
Do
weeks.
you know, is there a deadline to this process?
No pun intended, really.
Is there a deadline to joining the rebate program?
Is it
No, there's no
open-ended?
deadline.
Okay.
It's just we are blocked on access until.
Right.
Because that's funding, I
I was
don't
gonna
know.
say, how long is the funding available?
Well,
Probably need to ask
I
you.
cannot say with complete certainty. My understanding is the funding comes out of all the property tax dollars we all pay every year already on your property tax bill.
Yeah.
And
Well, we're gonna keep
So
paying
it's already-
taxes for a while, so you'd think the
Yeah.
funding would keep coming for a while.
so and then the governor added a big pot of money to it.
Right, yeah.
So, and I don't know how long, that really probably depends on the governor and legislature.
And
Yeah.
depending on if they add more this next legislative session.
Yeah,
Or whatever.
so it's
with the
really- I
popularity
would
of
say-
programs.
As far as I know, there's no sunset provision on any of
Okay.
this. It's all, the governor's portion is probably more affected by any political change.
Yep.
I don't think it's a big enough pot of money for them to really target it in sort of that budget season. Maybe. I think the local dollars that come through our property tax and stuff, this rebate program's been in place for at least 5 or 6 years, if not more. And so I just don't anticipate at least the local portion changing. Maybe the state will with elections. But,
Cool. Thanks
um,
for that.
I think let's revisit this topic in January.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That might
That
be a different
sounds right.
conversation.
That sounds right to me.
Something juicy. Draw me out.
You might have to join us.
Yeah, I will have to show up.
Okay, well, we're at 6 o'clock and we're at the last item of the agenda, so we need to approve the minutes from October's meeting. Michaela said that there's one typo change that
Yeah,
we need
I
to.
might have had Hillary's name with someone else's name.
Oh,
So,
okay.
It's your should be.
It was just like, I don't know what I was doing, but with that change, everything else looked good to me.
Yes, I thought so.
Unless someone else says something
I just-
else.
Okay, so do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll motion to approve the minutes of.
I will second.
Okay, all in favor of approving minutes from the October meeting?
Aye.
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 Unanimously, and then, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I so move. I move adjourned.
I'll second. All in favor of adjourning until our meeting in December?
Aye. I would like to pass a motion that we are more important than we think we are.
Resolution.